Hi, welcome to GeekFormation, the weekly podcast where we talk about geeky things. I'm Keith.
I'm Huey.
And I'm Jeff. That's our new co-host.
No, it is not.
Okay. So last week we discovered on the podcast that you did not realize that you have Amazon Prime Video.
I did not.
So what did you spend the last week doing?
Watching Amazon Prime. I've spent countless nights staying up late watching Amazon Prime. I think I burned out watching Amazon Prime, where I actually had to take breaks.
That's normal when you watch shows. You should take a break.
I didn't even know I had other streaming services.
Right.
And when I was kind of bored, like let's say I finished a show, I automatically just went to my, like it was just all loaded the whole time. Like it was.
And that's what you used to be with Netflix, right?
Yeah, it was just always on.
Well, this is a little insight into how his week was spent. I wake up at 7 in the morning and I look at my phone and there was a message at 4:45 a.m. and it said, "I just finished Jack Ryan." Did you watch all 8 in one sitting?
Yes.
Did you actually?
Pretty solid. I sat through it. I don't know why I was so I don't know. Like it wasn't. I don't know. It was burned hard. It was just because it was like a new toy, right?
Right. So we'll get into what we watch. Let's just quickly. So you watched Jack Ryan.
I watched a lot.
But I'm going over what you've seen. So you watched all of Jack Ryan.
I watched all of Jack. This is, like I work a full-time job, so keep that in mind. And we haven't seen each other for probably about a week.
Yeah, it was a week since we recorded last.
I've watched 4 seasons of TV shows plus 4 movies.
Right. Okay, well, let's just talk. So I want to say, so you saw all of Jack Ryan.
All of Jack Ryan, season, 1.
I watched Jack Ryan twice.
Wow.
All 8 episodes. We'll get into that later. And then you watched Hannah.
I watched Hannah, yes.
I also watched Hannah.
I love that you're making fun of me for how much I binged on Amazon Prime, but you were right up there.
Well, it's funny because I also made fun of you for not using it, but then you really motivated me to use it. I've had it this whole time. I could have watched those shows. Why didn't I?
So before me, did you watch any Amazon Prime at all?
Well, we watch Amazon Prime to watch Roseanne and Murder, She Wrote.
That's funny.
And
not really.
I use it for Communities on there and Parks and Rec.
Okay.
So there's
Parks
shows.
and Rec's cool.
Yeah, there's shows that I really like that are on there, but I hadn't watched any of the originals at all. So you motivated me.
Yeah. So you watched Hannah just once, right?
Yep.
And
I finished it an hour ago.
Yeah. So, I burned it like probably the third day in.
And then what else did you watch?
I watched Miss Maisel.
Both seasons?
Both seasons.
I watched the first episode today.
Okay. I wasn't going to watch Miss Maisel. I knew that you kind of poke fun at Miss Maisel.
No, I did not poke fun at Miss Maisel. I
took it as you poke fun at it.
Oh, that's incorrect because it's made by the same person as Gilmore Girls, and I love Gilmore Girls. So I'm not making fun of Miss Maisel.
I also look at ratings whenever I watch because I don't want to waste my time. And I'm not saying like ratings are always accurate, but when I looked up Miss Maisel real quick, because it was either that or at the time I remember it was like Longest Yard.
Okay.
I looked up.
You made the right choice.
Yeah. Well, I still watched Longest Yard later that day. The ratings were like insane.
It won awards, right?
Yes.
Didn't it win the Emmy?
I don't know what it won.
It's very critically acclaimed.
So, but it was rated like on like Rotten Tomato on almost every single rating website. It won all these awards, and I was like, it can't be that good. So then I watched the first episode, and yeah, I just never looked back really.
I know that I've only seen the first episode, so I can't get too into it. But yeah, it's really good. But you haven't seen Gilmore Girls, right?
I've never seen Gilmore Girls. Like I've seen the ads, but I don't know. I just never got into. I never got into TV for. Like when I was a kid. We weren't into video games. Right. So I just never watched it. I'm kind of sad because I missed all those eras of shows. Like Friends. I didn't watch Friends when it first came out. And now like I burned through all 10 seasons.
Right. I've seen them all too.
But you saw them multiple times.
I'm not the biggest fan of that show, but I just feel like that's a show. Like I used to watch it when it was new, and I definitely have seen it on Netflix at least once.
Yeah, so like Miss Maisel won a bunch of like Golden Globes and like
it's the show.
Yeah, it's even if I didn't know that, just based on just soft reviews, like when I was just looking around, like I had to look up just now about like Golden Globes, but I could just tell like it. I don't know, like how can one watching the first episode, how can you not tell it was amazing,
high quality?
Yeah. Even just the details. I know like most shows, like pilot shows, when they come out, like there's not a really big budget, but I could just tell through the second season, like maybe the budget went up. It might have didn't, but it just maybe I picked more stuff up. Like it was really well done. The whole thing in general is well done.
Amazon is dropping serious cash on their originals. Have you seen how much money they're spending?
No.
They're saying we'll get into each show more in depth, but Jack Ryan, they said it costs $8 to $10 million per episode of Jack Ryan.
Wow.
It's about $10 million per episode. And it's already been renewed for 3 seasons. You know that?
3 seasons?
Yeah. So
3 more seasons.
No, 2 more seasons.
2 more seasons.
At
So
least.
3 total. Yes.
So what happened was they renewed for season 2 before it even came out. And then like midway through season 1, they renewed it for season 3. So there's at least 3 seasons.
I've heard that like Amazon Prime is really kind of Amazon is really investing into the originals, right? So I'm really excited that, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's so many. They have a ton of originals. There's so many that you haven't even touched yet. Like American Gods is popular.
So I saw the ad for that.
I've read the book. I've only seen the first episode of the show.
You know what's real odd? I'm on Amazon daily.
Yeah.
Like it's almost part of my morning routine. I go on and I search like deals awkwardly. It's not awkward, but like just like deals to see if there's anything that I would buy.
Essential oil 5-pack.
I mean, it honestly shows up. And I just never realized it, but at the top, I realized it and it was kind of annoying, but at the top of like the app, it shows like the Amazon Prime video. So like in the last week, it was all like Hannah, like
they're
every time.
They're pushing Hannah hard as well.
Every time I go on it, even in the past, like Jack Ryan, Hannah. So subconsciously, I would always see those ads.
Right.
Clearly, it didn't work for me to push it. But like now that I know I have Amazon Prime, if I see a banner of something, I'm going to go like probably watch it.
Well, it's funny. I do have to apologize because I was teasing you pretty hard for not knowing you have Prime Video. But I do have to admit, Prime Video did not exist in Canada where we are for that long. So I was saying, you've had Amazon Prime since because you've had Prime for years.
I've had it since the beginning.
But I think Prime Video only launched in Canada like about a year ago.
And I look back and I thought about it. I think that I tried like logging in one time.
Okay.
And I felt like it didn't work or something, or it wasn't pushed or something. I didn't know. So you mean like, maybe that's why I was like, what? Like I tried before, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Prime Video too, it really goes through phases in the like pop culture with what's big, because so now you're saying like Miss Maisel is winning awards, and obviously Jack Ryan is very popular, and Hannah, they're pushing hard, like very hard. Also, not to mention, we do a lot of stuff on Twitch and spend a lot of time on Twitch, and they obviously, because Amazon owns Twitch, they promote all their originals on there a ton. Do you remember now seeing all the ads?
Oh, yeah.
So
it's all kind of like coming full circle, to be honest.
But it was going through like phases, like when it becomes more popular, because the other thing is like they've had other shows that have won awards like in the past. Like, do you remember that show Transparent? Do you know what that is?
I've seen the ad.
Yeah. So that show, when that was like new and really popular, everyone was talking about Prime Video because it was winning awards. Then they also had that one.
The Tick?
The Tick.
I remember seeing so many ads for The Tick.
And then there's a new season coming out now.
Like it's in like the 5 seasons or something.
No, it's only the second season coming out.
I don't know why I thought I saw an advertisement for like 5 seasons.
No, it's only the second. There's been multiple shows of The Tick. But this Amazon one is only.
Yeah, I get it.
And then they had that one Mozart in the Jungle. That one's a strange one, but it won like awards too. And so like Amazon was really in the discussion.
I know we're kind of focusing on like all those like award-winning shows. You mean like obviously Netflix had their award-winning shows as well, but I know like what you mean by like there's certain shows that were kind of like more popular.
Well, but them winning awards and like Netflix now winning awards, that is shocking. Like we're taking for granted now, but like 5 years ago, if you would have said streaming services will win like Academy Awards and win Golden Globes, people would have laughed at you. It's crazy that now like I know we're talking about Prime, but like Netflix had a movie nominated for Best Picture this year. That is insane. Roma was nominated for Best Picture. That's crazy that a streaming service, like they are competing with the biggest studios now. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, no, I get it. I could see it. Like, I don't know. Like, I even think that some of these shows, like some of these originals, I don't know. Miss Maisel really hit me in the face. Like, there was something about Miss Maisel.
Yep.
We'll talk about it later. But after watching this, I was just like, wow, this is a real legit thing. And I'm not saying like the other shows that I watched, like Jack Ryan, wasn't like. Or like even on Netflix, some of the other shows weren't like legit. It just felt like, I don't know, it just felt kind of like more real and more like there was like lots of money invested. It just felt very lots of money.
Really good. Yeah. Cool. I want you to watch Gilmore Girls now.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so good.
We'll see. Like, if is it on Prime?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, of course.
Because Netflix they rebooted it. Like, there's a Netflix original new season just last year.
Oh, wait, Gilmore Girls, it's an old show, right?
Yeah, they came back.
Oh.
Last year.
Okay.
And it was amazing.
Confuse me.
For the record, fans didn't like it. I loved it.
I'm a little confused.
Why?
So this was a show that was done like, I don't know, some time ago, right? Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Yes.
10 years ago?
So give or take 10 years ago, whatever, right? But I don't understand the Netflix
So they made a new season.
Oh, okay. So I get it.
It's not a reboot. It's the same actors.
So I guess
I
still got to watch like. Should I watch?
You should watch from season 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have that on Netflix.
I think so.
Okay.
You never know what comes on and off Netflix, right? But
yes.
I watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
So really on this podcast, though, what we want to talk about, because it's what we both saw, was really Jack Ryan and Hannah. Is that fair to say? Because I haven't seen all of Miss Maisel yet.
No.
I want to watch it, and we can do a more in-depth later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Because I think everyone should watch it. And that's what's cool, too, is I like that you watched it and you liked it, because that show is a bit different than everything else we've talked about on the show. So far for movies and stuff, we've only talked about like comic book movies.
It's different in my realm as well.
Yeah.
Like it's everything like if you were to choose a genre for me to like pick at, like it's everything I do not like. Or I would not, it's not like I do not like. I just wouldn't, if you had to give me a choice, I wouldn't really click on it just because, I'm not into that 50s era kind of shows or whatever, right? Or even just,
I would not have pegged you to watch it.
Yeah, no,
100%.
Sure.
Like if I was to say, okay, I'm going to give you Prime and you have to watch a show, I would have picked American Gods for you. And you might still like it.
Oh, I'm excited to watch American Gods.
I like the book.
I've never read the book.
Right.
I didn't know
that's going to be a common theme in the thing is that I like the book more always, but whatever.
I think that's a common theme for everyone when they read the book, right? Like I don't read a lot of books. I'm not a reader, but I read Holes.
Oh, I like Holes.
Yeah, so I read Holes.
Did you read it in school?
No, I read it out of school.
Okay.
I don't know why I read it. I guess I just wanted to kind of, I saw it just laying around and I just like, you know what, it's going to be a quick read. So I read it.
I just want to say the best thing is we always disagree because I never read Holes.
Oh,
I've only seen the movie.
Wow. And then I read the book. And then that's what kind of drove me to go watch the movies. Or the movie. And then when I watched the movie, I was like, wow, that was real bad. Like the movie was real bad.
It's different from the book, right?
Oh yeah. It's not much different, but it wasn't as detailed enough. And at that moment I realized how people would always refer to like, oh, the book is always better. Because I was like, how can it be better when like you have the imagery of everything displayed on like Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Like I read A Philosopher's Stone, and then it's called A Philosopher's Stone, right? Yeah. Did I read it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I read The Philadelphia Stone. I don't know. It's pretty good.
But I guess because it's just something that I interpret like what I thought Harry Potter would look like. So then when you mean like it's my own imagination? Right. In fairness, I also saw the movie first and then read the book. So the movie's a bit more kind of forgiving.
Yeah, for sure. It is weird. If you read a book, even if you haven't seen the movie, if you read a book after the movie's been announced, it's hard not to read the book with those characters in mind. Mm-hmm. Like, it's funny. I'm embarrassed that I read this because the movies are bad and the books are bad. But when I was young, you remember the Da Vinci Code?
Yes.
Okay, well, like I read all those books when I was like, I don't know, like in grade 10 or something. But like when I read the books, the movies were already coming out, but I hadn't seen them. But so I read the books as Tom Hanks. Like it
Oh.
was Tom Hanks in my
Yeah.
head. But some people were like, he's not the character. It's dumb. But I was like, well, I just read it as him, right? And I mean, now I know that they're bad, but like at the time, I was a little kid, right? I thought it was sweet at the time.
Do you want to mention anything else about Amazon Video?
Well, actually, how did you watch it on your TV or on a laptop?
I watched it on my TV.
See, it's funny. I watched mine exclusively on a computer. Did you see anything about the X-ray feature?
No.
It is so cool. So since Amazon also owns IMDb, if you watch it on a web, yeah, they own everything.
Yeah.
So it's funny if you watch it, and maybe this does work on smart TVs and stuff and Apple TV. I don't know how to activate it though, but on the browser, anytime you pause it, it shows every actor that's in the scene, like what song is playing, and trivia about the scene. So it'll be like, they filmed this one in Berlin, Hannah walking. It was almost cut, like every single scene.
Wow.
So it's really cool. So anytime you're like, do I know that actor? Literally press pause, shows you the actor, shows you the song that's playing. Really
That's a cool feature. No,
very cool.
I didn't even notice it.
Very neat. I don't know how it works on smart TVs or Apple TV. Maybe it doesn't. It might be web browser only and phones, right?
Okay.
So that's all I want to say about Amazon Prime. I'm enjoying it.
I think it's just something different and refreshing. Because
Okay.
like at the last, I don't know, I've had Netflix just like anyone for like a couple years now.
Since the day it came out is
Yeah.
when we got it. Yeah.
I get excited when something new comes out. Like at the beginning of the month, something new comes out. So like I get really excited about it. And then near the end of the month, it's like, okay. Where when I got Amazon Prime, it was like a whole new, like everything.
I have so much to watch.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, like it was it's refreshing. And it's not like it's a show, it's a streaming service, right? So it's not like there's a huge distinction between what is on Netflix compared to what is on Amazon.
Yeah, they're both paying big money to get good shows.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Hannah first then, because it's new. That's what people are here to hear, because that is brand new and they have been promoting it so hard. Here's the thing is that it's so funny since me and Huey have started the podcast is that we don't talk to each other anymore.
We don't.
I have no idea if he liked any of these shows, except I know he liked Miss Maisel, and he doesn't know if I
don't
like
think
them.
anyone that's talked to me the last week knows I like Miss Maisel.
He's got a Miss Maisel tattoo on his arm.
I've been on a high on this show, and I've been recommending it to everyone. They're like, oh, like, how was your day? You know how people respond like, good, how was your day? Like, how was your day? It was amazing. I watched Miss Maisel.
It was amazing. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, you want to talk about Hannah?
Yeah, well, so you mean like this is not, like it's a reboot, right?
Yeah, so the movie came out in 2011, and we watched it together, which is funny.
We did. And so I remember falling asleep to this movie.
I fell asleep too.
I remember one scene from the movie.
Okay.
And I love that it was like there's a callback in this show
Is there?
to that moment.
Oh, okay.
You mean like, but before I watched it, I looked it up, like the reviews on it, and
The show or the movie?
the show. Okay. I kind of just ignored the movie because I knew it wasn't obviously the same actors or whatever. And it was, I'm kind of bracing myself, right? Like, is it going to be like amazing or amazel, or is it going to be just like mediocre?
Right.
And it was in the middle, so that was my expectation going into it, and that's how I felt. I felt it was like an okay show. Were
you surprised? I was shocked that they remade that. It's such a weird property to remake. Like, it's not like that movie was like such a hit. Like, it's just such a random thing to bring back. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, because it was funny. I can't remember if you were in the room with me the first time I saw a commercial for it. I was like, whoa, that looks familiar. That looks like that Hannah movie. And then it was like, Hannah. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like,
I felt the same way.
I would have bet $1 million it was like a ripoff, not a remake.
Yep.
Strange.
It was a strange choice. And it's even stranger because it's literally the same like writer.
Yeah.
That did.
Yeah, he's the showrunner, I think, right? Which is, that gives it more credit in my mind. It's like he likes this idea. He likes this story, so he wanted to do more of it.
Yeah, he expanded on it.
Because that makes more sense to me than like them like rebooting a movie from 2011 to be a show. Like, that's so strange.
Just imagine him campaigning like, "Hey, look, I know the movie didn't do so well, so let's try to put it."
I don't know how did it do.
I don't think it did very well.
It's not like critically acclaimed by any means.
And it's not like, I'm comparing this to like Marvel movies, right? But it's like, it was just blah.
I feel like it was forgettable, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's weird now too that the girl that played her has become such a star lately because she was Lady Bird this year, which was like one of the most acclaimed movies, right? So strange. The other thing I guess we can talk about it if we liked it or not, but one thing that caught me off guard.
That we did talk about it.
Well, I mean, just that was pretty quick. I didn't know why you did or didn't like it.
I'm just more kind of like giving everyone a sense of where we're standing.
Would you say it's worth a watch? It's only 8 episodes. You wouldn't even go that far?
No.
Really?
Which I think I'm alone on it though. So I've kind of looked up on other people's opinions on it because I was like, I can't be alone. And a lot of people like it.
So you don't like it at all?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised, but I think I might.
And I can explain why in a bit.
Yeah, I want you to. Did you see? I just want to say, did you ever watch the show The Killing?
No.
See, do you know about how it's the same actors?
No. Same actors?
So this is why it took me by so surprise. So the dad, Joel Kinnaman, whatever, he's like
RoboCop.
Yeah, and was he in Suicide Squad as well?
Yes, he was.
So like
Captain Flag or Captain Boomerang. Sorry.
Okay, so like
what a bad
on
character.
the TV show The Killing, which was on AMC, and then when it got canceled, Netflix bought it. So like, I loved that show. The 2 main characters of that show were him and the girl Marissa Viegler from this show.
Oh yeah,
and Mireille Enos or whatever. So like, it's just so weird that they like reunited for this show. Like they were the 2 main characters of that show, and I loved the first season of that show. It kind of was uneven, but so it's funny because I didn't even research Hannah. I was just watching it, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy, and then like she comes on the screen, I'm like, that's really strange. Like it's weird. You don't see that a ton. Like like them reuniting. So why didn't you like it?
As a whole, I think that's what I'm kind of basing this on, not like episode per episode. Episode per episode they were okay. Well, you know how I am about like child actors. I'm not the biggest fan of child actors.
Okay.
And it's not like
it is also funny when you say child. She's 19 for the record.
But I think it was more like the tempo of the show wasn't good for me. It was just kind of
like too slow.
It was all over the place.
Like
there was highs and there was like. It was like high at the beginning to get you hooked, and then like really slow, and then the end it wasn't like, it was like okay, and then it almost made it like we're gonna have a sequel,
which is
end,
still
right?
not announced. There's no sequel announced yet.
It just felt like that, where it's just like, and maybe because it's the concept of the show, like girl gets trained in the woods, becomes an assassin, and then like. And then that's it. Like you could summarize it like how do you make it into a show? And I think it's the filler that I didn't like how they filled it. It's a coming of age story, right?
Yep.
To a degree, like it's not like complete like turning into adulthood, but just her changing her perception of like it. And I think it was just the filler that I didn't like.
See, it's funny because. So straight up, I didn't really like it either.
Wow.
I was quite bored.
Yes.
But it's hilarious that I liked the filler more than the other stuff.
I didn't like any of it, really. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was okay. It was a drag.
It was a bit of a drag for 8 episodes only. I agree.
And that was the thing that I realized about all the Netflix shows, because I watched so many. There are consistent 8. Like Miss Maisel season 1 was 8. This was 8.
You said
Jack Ryan was 8.
You said Netflix, but you mean Prime?
Prime, sorry. Yes. Yes. It was a consistent. So like Netflix is ingrained in my streaming, right?
Well, it's funny. I think Amazon learned their lesson because Netflix shows are notorious for dragging too long. People gave, like, even though they're popular, those Marvel shows a lot of crap for dragging way too much. Like when you're on Netflix, they're assuming that everyone's binging. So they will just like kind of drag them on when shows were on networks before, every episode had to be like a banger or you wouldn't watch it next week. But now they're like, everyone's watching from start to finish. And like a lot of the Netflix shows do drag a lot. So these ones in theory should have been quicker. But yeah, I was pretty bored by Hannah as well.
I was surprised I was bored because it's kind of generally what I like in shows, right? Like action, like big fighting, like that stuff, right? mindless.
Well, I wrote down some notes and it was hilarious. I just looked at my notes and I wrote in big writing, the acting in Hannah is so bad. That's what I wrote. So this is how I felt, is that I thought the casting for the main ones was great. I actually think Hannah, the actress, was amazing. I like her.
Okay. She didn't say much.
But I thought she was perfect. I really liked her. Also, I said I liked the killing. So I actually liked the dad.
Joel.
And I liked Marissa, the villain. Yes. So I liked the three mains. Okay. And I even liked, so at some point you see, it's not a big spoiler, you see a family.
Yes.
I thought they were really good actors as well. I was in at that point. Then when another villain comes, Sawyer, remember that? Okay. He is the worst actor ever.
Oh, the one that takes over.
Yeah, the CIA guy. Yeah. He is horrible. So this is how I felt that show was. It was like, that show was like a tale of two budgets. It was like, okay, we have all these, like the main people, like we spent a lot of time casting these people. They're really good. It's like, okay, now get the extras from that Sylvester Stallone movie. Like everyone else was bad at acting. They were like, he's over there. Look around the corner. They were horrible. Did you find that cheesy? It was like we're watching
cheesy.
Like a Jet Li movie or something. Like
it was more the tempo for me. That's what I didn't like. And it was like a downhill from there, right? So where I started losing interest, and then it's just like, oh, if we weren't doing this podcast, I wouldn't have finished it.
See, it's funny because I probably wouldn't either, because I hated the first 4, and then from 5 through 8, I didn't mind it. If it was 5 through 8 the whole time, I actually would have been more into it. I was actually bored at the beginning. Very bored.
I thought there'd be more killing. I thought there'd be more like again, my expectation was like, this chick is a trained assassin to protect herself. I would expect like when they found out it was like a horde of like the military, where she was, like Soviet, Russia, I don't know where it is. Romania. It would like, yo, there's a crazy assassin out there, like we should probably invest, especially when she killed an entire team before, right? Like we should probably go out. It was just like casual, like, yo, send a couple guys to go. Send a couple guys, and then
it seemed like also like the action wasn't particularly good.
No,
it's not like it was bad. It's not bad.
No, it was horrible.
You think it was that bad?
Yeah, was it a budget thing? It just didn't seem.
It's weird, yeah, because I think it is actually high budget for a TV show, but it seems like they skimped in areas.
Yeah,
because I felt also like set design. Like I thought there was some episodes where I was like, oh, this is like gorgeous. Like there was some parts where I was like, I like how this is shot. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But then there's ones where it's like supposed to be like, I don't know, like CIA. And it's like, this is just like a square room with like 4 computers in it. Like they definitely like didn't have that good set design for a lot of the areas.
Then you want to talk about Jack Ryan? I have nothing else to say about Hannah. I can say that I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
Yeah, I can say it was slow.
So you would not recommend it at all?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even recommend the first episode, like at all. I almost feel bad that I acknowledge that I watched it. It was so hyped.
It's funny. I thought you were going to like it more than me, and I didn't really like it.
No, I actually hated it.
You know what else I didn't like?
Where other people liked it.
It's not like universally loved, though, so far. The reviews are hit and miss.
Yes.
People said exactly what you said, uneven. That's the word that's getting tossed around. See, I think I like it more than you because the parts I liked enough that I am excited to watch another season. It seemed like
another season. You're willing to watch another season of that.
Oh, if there is a season 2, I will watch it. 100% I'll watch it.
I don't know if I could.
That much. Well, one thing that I thought was weird, which should have been like that I loved, was that so right when it started, like there's like the theme song that's in every friggin' episode. Okay. So right away I was like, oh, Karen O. Like I love Karen O, this lead singer of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I'm like, I didn't know she was doing the soundtrack, so I was like, amazing. And then they play the song again in the second episode, and then in the third episode, and then in the fourth episode. I was so bored of that song by the 6th episode. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Like the lullaby song?
Yes.
It's in every one. And then like so the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, one of my favorite bands, but it was like nonstop through the show. And then it just like didn't really fit. And even, did you notice like the times they played the Billie Eilish songs?
Yes.
I love Billie Eilish.
I will say that I do love the soundtrack.
See, I love the soundtrack. Like those are all songs I listen to.
Yes.
Like it was so funny in the one scene where You Should See Me in a Crown, when that song played, the first it was like dong. I was like, Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
And then there's like before the song played. But like I found it didn't even fit with the scene.
Yes. Admittedly, I Shazammed a bunch of the songs that were on the episodes.
Right.
That's literally the only thing I liked about the show was just the song choices.
Yeah, I love those artists, but I actually found that sometimes they didn't fit in the show.
Mm-hmm.
They're good to listen to on your phone.
Yeah, they're gym music for me.
Yeah, but yeah.
It just didn't fit.
I agree. So do you want to talk about Jack Ryan?
Sure.
I hope you like Jack Ryan more than you liked Hannah.
Yes.
Did you?
Again, I'm comparing it to Miss Maisel, though.
See, I wish you didn't watch that now. That so sucks. I was so pumped to talk about Jack Ryan and Hannah.
No, it was good. It was really, really good. Like, it was good enough where I was focused and I stayed up to 4 a.m. watching it.
Did you literally watch all 8 in one sitting? Or was it 2 sittings?
Well, yeah, essentially one sitting.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was just on a high, right? Like, it was my first video Prime, like Amazon Prime video experience. And then I liked all the actors. I like John.
Do you like him as an action star? Do you buy him yet as an action star?
No, I don't buy him as an action star yet.
What?
No.
Did you watch A Quiet Place?
I did.
And you still don't buy him as that? He's so tough.
Yeah, I guess he's tougher. But I guess it just took me out. Remember how I told you, like, I like new, I don't know if you. I just like new faces.
Yeah.
So there were certain things like Wendell, right? Like the kind of the counter of Jack Ryan, his boss or
his
whatever.
Boss.
Yeah. Well, his name is James. This is where it threw me. First episode.
Right.
You know, they're introducing the characters, and Wendell comes in. Like his real name is Wendell, and he comes in. And he's like, "I'm James or I'm Jim," and I was like, "With Jim?" Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, I was like, "Ugh," and then it just funny. It just made me think of The Office, and then later on I saw like the love interest. Mm-hmm. I was like, RoboCop.
She's in RoboCop?
Yeah, she's the wife in RoboCop.
Oh man, I'm watching RoboCop.
Yeah. And then to go back to Hannah, I was like, oh, RoboCop.
Is he RoboCop?
Yeah, he's RoboCop.
Is he actually?
Yeah, I think he's 100% RoboCop.
Man, I'm gonna have to watch RoboCop.
I can look it up real quick, but I know
he is in it.
I'm positive he's actually RoboCop.
Man, I love
that's where I know them from. I like the design of the new RoboCop.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know if I was like I liked the movie. I didn't like the movie, but I definitely
I don't think anyone liked the movie.
I'm gonna
watch it. I'm gonna watch it now.
Yeah, he's definitely in RoboCop. Yeah, he is RoboCop.
Oh, I'm gonna watch RoboCop now. I'm watching that tonight.
Yeah. So again, that's whole like it took me just out of it. I liked how the story developed. This was a lot. It was written better.
Yes. I mean, to compare that and Hannah, to me, they're like leagues apart.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's 1,000 times better than Hannah.
Yes, I would recommend it, but like it was good. Like I would give it like a thumbs up. Like,
are you gonna watch season 2 when it comes out?
Yeah, I'll watch season 2 for sure. I like John. He's not sold. Like we talked about how he was possibly Captain America. To me, he's not Captain America. Right. But he's still like a good enough actor and clearly a good director because, you know.
Right.
But like as a whole, the show was really good. It was written really well. There were some parts where I was like, would that actually happen? But, you know.
I mean, a TV show, you have to suspend disbelief. Yeah. Even in Miss Maisel, that's not realistic, really. Like, everything is, right?
Yeah. I guess because I just took it as more of a kind of a grounded show.
Yeah, I mean, compared to Hannah, if you're going to compare them.
Yeah.
I loved every second of Jack Ryan.
Every second, though?
It was the best show I've seen in ages.
Wow.
I was obsessed with it. Well, I watched it.
I cannot wait till you watch Miss Maisel.
So I watched the first episode of Miss Maisel. I like it. But I'm just saying, I watched Jack Ryan twice. Haven't seen you in a week. And I watched all 8 episodes 2 times.
Wow. Did you catch something the second time, though? Like more stuff, or it was just like the same? Like, oh, it was really good.
I caught a few things, okay. Just like some small details, nothing huge, but just like side plots and stuff that like I might have missed the first. You know, you're watching it the first time, right? But I love it. It's so good. Like,
it was really good.
I also would watch. We're speaking of like not filler, but non-action. Like, did you like the like date scenes and stuff? Like scenes between.
So that's where it took me out.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It just felt like Jim.
Yeah, but that's good. He's such a good actor. It was funny because
it felt like Jim from The Office. It felt like Jim from The Office.
Why does that bother you? More romantic comedy.
I guess now, like when I look back, it's like, wait, when Jim went away, did he go become Jack Ryan and then come back to Scranton?
Someone's probably going to do a weird edit of that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what I do in my job.
Yeah.
That is funny. But I actually loved those scenes, and I wanted more of those scenes. I would
with the girl? With Cam and the girl? Mm-hmm.
I would literally, so I was saying, I would literally watch a show, of them doing boring jobs, but just going on dates, because I just loved every scene with them together.
Yes.
Chemistry was so good. Also, I was like, I wish that they would just make a show, Dr. Kathy Mueller, and it would just be a show of her doing disease stuff, like hospital stuff.
Wow,
I loved her. I've never seen her in a movie before. I never saw
RoboCop.
Well, I'm watching it now. And I'm not joking. Every scene she was in, I'm like, I love her. I'm going to watch every movie she's ever in. I love her.
Okay.
I absolutely love that show.
I thought she did an okay job.
Oh my God. I'm so upset.
I guess because... I mean, like, I guess you just like smug characters. Like
smug? How is she smug?
Not her. She was a little. He was. I don't know. It was okay.
I am so shocked. This is the best thing I've seen in so long.
It was really good. Like, I'm not saying like it's like an 8 out of 10 for sure.
Okay, well that's fair. I wouldn't.
It wasn't
even
a
go that
10
much
for 10. It wasn't like
I wouldn't say that.
You know, I know how how good a movie is when, as I'm making conversation, I'm like putting in references.
Right.
Like, you know, this has been so Miss Maisel, or like I don't know. Like,
I cannot wait to watch that now. I watched the first episode today.
Maybe I'm just hyping it up.
No. The thing is you don't need to sell me on it because you thought I was insulting it before. I've been so hyped to watch that. I was just waiting because I was going to watch it with Melissa. I was just, we watch shows slow.
Yeah.
But like, I love Gilmore Girls. So like, obviously I'm going to like this show. This show seems better. Like,
it just... I mean, like, it was just written differently. Like, it just seemed like there was more care when it comes to writing.
Well, the creator is really good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I actually think probably, like, obviously now comparing, if you watched Gilmore Girls, you wouldn't like it as much.
Yeah.
But like, I guarantee you'd like it more than you think you'd like it.
Sure. You know, and even like with Jack Ryan, even like the bad guy was like relatable to some degree, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what, it was funny that we got him after I just talked about how, like, just recently we were talking and I was saying how a good villain is a person who thinks he's the hero,
yeah,
right?
And it's funny because that's what I thought as well. Like, I know, like, that's...
Yeah, I didn't make that saying up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I took that. Like, you kind of related to him and you're like, oh, well, I can see why. His motives, right?
Yes. Yeah, like, yeah, obviously... it's about a terrorist. We're not on his side.
Yeah.
But like a villain where you understand
why he became the villain.
Yes, that is a good villain.
Yes.
And if they just are doing evil things for no reason, I find it stupid. Because everyone does something for a reason.
Yes. Everyone has their own agenda.
Right. And on that show, it was weird too. They were saying like the villain gets as much screen time as Jack Ryan.
The family.
Yeah. They're on the show as much as the good guys.
That's what I noticed too.
And that never happens in anything.
Yeah, so I like the movie overall. Like there wasn't a lot of complaints. Like, would I recommend it? Yeah, for sure. Like it's definitely a good 8 episodes.
Yeah,
and,
easy,
you know,
8.
Yeah, well, for you, easy 16.
Yeah, watch it twice.
And there's really little to complain about the show. Like it was good. Like the cast, everything was good about it.
One thing I like about streaming services too is that they don't have to be at the same standard of time. Like, you know, in network TV shows, every episode's 44 minutes because commercials. So some episodes might be like 55 minutes. Some episodes could be like 46 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like however long the story has to be, that's how long the episodes are. And I really like when shows do that.
We'll condense into 8 episodes. I'm not sure it's every single series on Prime, but I just noticed like 8. And I think that was the difference because when I watched Jack Ryan, it was so good that when the episode was over, I was like, "Oh, it's already over." Where with Hannah, I was just like,
"I agree."
It's wow. Is it still going?
but every episode is a different length for those shows.
Yeah,
they always do that on streaming services, which is good.
For sure.
The one show that did that really well was Maniac. Did you see that?
No.
You should watch that. It's on Netflix, and there's some episodes that are like an hour and 10 minutes. There's some episodes that are 26 minutes because it's just however long the story has to be. That's how long the episode is. Okay. Which is cool. Also, I just looked at my notes and I wrote from Jack Ryan, I wrote, I think I like French rap music. There's a lot of cool French rap beats in that show. Yeah, like with Jack Ryan too, like I was thinking about, so did you ever see Homeland?
Yes.
So have you seen a lot of Homeland?
I saw 3 seasons.
Okay, yeah. So I saw maybe a little bit more, but like I really liked Homeland when it came out, and I'm not gonna like shit talk that show. Like it's fine, and I really like Claire Danes.
I hate that I like it.
You do like Homeland?
I hate that I like it.
Why do you hate that you like it?
I hate because
it's a good show.
No, it's like what I don't like about shows.
In what way?
Like it just feels like, it was the cliffhangers like got me coming back. I hated the character because he was like clear. If we're talking about the same, it's definitely Homelands.
Yeah,
I remember like this chick was just headstrong,
and she's also like mentally ill.
Yeah,
and does
for sure.
Things.
But like just doing stuff, I was like, you would have got fired a long time ago. But you're still doing it. But the thing is, because of the cliffhanger, I was like,
you got to keep watching.
Yeah. So that's what I liked about.
Yeah, I like Homeland too. But it's funny. After watching Jack Ryan, I was like, I like Jack Ryan so much more than Homeland. Because one thing I noticed too, like speaking about the villains, is like I have seen so many seasons of Homeland. I promise you, I cannot tell you one villain's name, and I cannot tell you one thing they did. I don't remember a single bad guy from that show anymore. They're just generic terrorist one. And I was like, I will not forget Suleiman from Jack Ryan for a long time. I will remember that character.
So you mean like I don't know a lot about Jack Ryan. I don't know a lot about the Tom Clancy. So when I finished watching it, I Googled it. There's a Ryan verse.
It's a huge.
Well,
you've played a lot of the Tom Clancy games, have you not?
Yeah, but I guess I never really paid attention to the main character.
Right. Well, he's not in the games, but
yeah. Well, there's like movies with Jack Ryan. There's like multiple movies. Like Harrison Ford played Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Chris Pine. You
didn't know that?
No.
Oh, really?
I was like, what? There's literally
5 movies. Ben Affleck was Jack Ryan.
Yeah, there's like a Ryan verse.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know that you didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, he's like a big character. Like, Tom Clancy.
And he's always the analyst, and I watched like a quick like breakdown of like, and all of them always like say like, I'm just an analyst.
Yeah, I know. But that's why I do think that it's not even, people will obviously debate this because whatever you grew up with is what you like, right? But John Krasinski is, if it's going to be an analyst, he's the best one.
Yeah, he looks like the most. So remember how we talked about like he's too good looking? Like Chris Pine was too good looking to be Jack Ryan.
Agreed.
Right? Maybe Harrison Ford back in the day was too good looking to be, right?
He was too gruff and too, I agree.
Like John Krasinski is like, he looks like an analyst.
Yeah,
like,
John Krasinski is a nerd who got in shape.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what he looks like.
Really, so there's a scene where he's in the locker. Awkward.
Yeah.
Where I was like, whoa, he's really
ripped. Yeah. Well, he wears those tight shirts the whole season. I was like, man, I want to get ripped just so I can wear those tight sweaters.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize there's such a like I knew there was a Tom Clancy universe like I haven't talked about, but I didn't realize it was like almost based on one guy.
Yeah.
No, I like it's mind blowing to me. It's cool.
Yeah. It's too bad that he's dead now and he wouldn't see this.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm really curious if Tom Clancy would have liked this adaptation because he didn't like the movies. Do you know that?
No.
He said like a lot of them, I forget the exact reasons, but he wasn't really a fan. Like I think it was the Harrison Ford ones. He asked his name to be taken off. Like he didn't think it was his character. So it's weird too because I actually looked into some of the books. I actually got like halfway through reading the first book since we last talked. And it is weird though because they're like from the 80s. So they are very different from this show. Like it's not really Middle Eastern enemies. They're Russian because it's like the 80s. So it's like, and it's also weird how like the new show is so about like technology, but like obviously the technology is a lot different.
Oh yeah, like cell phones. I always say cell phones change everything.
Yeah, true.
Like it's so much easier now to, like to find someone or like, I know there's a cell phone in here. So again, I know because he's an analyst, it just, some of the things were just because it was only him that figured it out.
Right.
I get it. It kind of drove the story, but without it, it was like, oh, you wouldn't have figured it out. But I guess because he's the analyst and that's why he is the star or whatever, right? The Jack Ryan character. I mean, like I said, I can't say enough good things about Jack Ryan.
People think that as a character, Jack Ryan's boring because he's too perfect. Does that bother you?
No.
It doesn't bother me either. I'm fine with a character who, like I don't
he has no flaws?
Well, he's just like, he has flaws, but he's morally always like, he's a Boy Scout. That's what they say. He'll always do the right thing. He might break the rules to do it. Like, you know what I mean? He was fighting. Sometimes like he's breaking rules with the bosses or whatever, but he is very much like morally right. Like he doesn't like to do anything wrong. He's a Boy Scout. He's like considered like perfect. And that's what all the adaptations they said he was. And he's like boring.
Very Captain America-ish.
True. But I actually like that sometimes. Because we watch a lot of shows where the characters are like bad or like
romantic comedies,
but like
my guilty pleasure.
Sure, but even like we're like Breaking Bad or something. Like the main characters are terrible people, and that's fine. I like shows like that.
What I meant is like they're so perfect. Like
right.
You're like I want to be that person, or like I aspire to be that person, or like I want to know that person. Like there's no flaws. Like it's not like like the Homelands where like I don't want to meet that chick.
No, the difference between her and Jack Ryan could not be any bigger.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Yeah, she yeah. So like I like that he's that way. Like you mean you want to root for this tall, dark, handsome, great body.
Keep talking about his body.
But I mean like
I'm not disagreeing.
No, he's like you said, he's a Boy Scout. I like that about him. I like that he's pure, and it's not like he's gonna, like as if you were him, like you can kind of step into his shoes. Like I'm gonna be doing that, or he should be doing that.
Right.
Where on other shows, like some people just do like, what? Do you just do that? Like
agreed.
I like that. If I was that character, I would be doing this. So it's like predictable, but like a good predictable. Like where he stands, what he's gonna do. Blah 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 blah. Right.
Right. Okay. It's really funny. We should end, but I just want to say one thing. I want to end on a quote which made me laugh so hard.
We're just ending now on this quote, or
well,
can
we'll talk a little bit, but I just want to say it was hilarious that I wrote down a quote. So I wrote down, so it's not really a spoiler. They're in a car in somewhere in the Middle East, and the Jack Ryan is like judging the guy. Like he's talking about Boy Scout. Like he thinks the guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then the guy says, maybe if I was born in a nice city in America, I could be the good guy too. And then he says, geography is destiny, my friend. So he's saying like, you think I'm so bad. It's not my fault. I was born here.
Yes.
And anyway, it's so funny that the character says that. And then I wrote it. I paused the show to write it down. And then Jack Ryan goes, I'll write that one down. And I was like, damn it. Like they got me. It was just hilarious that I wrote it down and then I pressed play and then that's what he said. Like, let me write that one down. Like kind of rolling his eyes. And I'm like,
I meant to write show notes.
Right.
I really did. But because it was 4 a.m,
right.
I did not write show notes. I mean, like, I just knew what I could talk about. Like, it was just a solid movie solid TV show. It wasn't like dragging. But again, I was probably still on a honeymoon from getting Amazon Video.
Right.
So
well, I'm happy that I watched it twice because now I know it wasn't just a honeymoon. It's actually good.
Yeah, it's good.
You should watch Jack Ryan.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend.
And you should not watch Hannah.
Don't watch Hannah.